Hi guys, today I'm going to prepare my company for the upcoming Crossfire campaign. So we'll be using the Platoon Forward campaign system to run a campaign of Crossfire. It's going to be a solitaire campaign, and I'm going to be doing it for two reasons. One, because that will allow me to play the games more regularly, and two, just to show you guys that it can be done and to demonstrate this set of campaign rules, and yeah, just to sort of show that if you don't have a regular opponent, then that shouldn't get in the way of having some good, fun, engaging war games. So as I said, today's video is just going to be a nice quick one where we're going to roll up our company. So I've made some minor changes, essentially just to the terminology, because we're going to be running a company. Crossfire is a company based game. So just replace Platoon with company and you pretty much get what we're going for. So to begin with, we are going to sort out our 5 primary characters. So we have our company commander, who is Major Major Forest Man. We have our second in command of the company, which is Captain Henry Irwin. First platoon leader is Lieutenant Lyle Farrell. Second platoon leader, Lieutenant Clayton Dunn. And third platoon leader, Lieutenant James Watkins. These names are names which I have pulled randomly from an online generator of English 20th century names or British 20th century names. So any link that they might have to real people is entirely unintentional. I'm not intending to be representing a specific company of British soldiers here, although the campaign will be roughly based on some real operations that did take place. So it's going to be semi-historical, the campaign. Anyway, so the way this is going to work, we're going to roll some dice and find out what kind of personalities these guys have got, and then we can decide whether or not we want to have nicknames for them, just to add a bit more character. So starting off with our company commander, this is Major Man. We're going to determine his personality first of all. So we've got this table here on the left. You roll 2d6 and find out what he is. So we're going to roll on this side first. So we've got a 6. So he's going to be down here. The second one rolls and it's a 3. So he is cheery. So our company commander is cheery. Now the fact that that is written in blue means generally he's going to be well liked by his subordinates and his superiors. So that is good. That's what we want. The next thing we're going to do is find out his motivations and interests. And for that, we roll a d20. And we have an 8. So he's interested in engineering. Technology, wireless, engines all motivate and interest this character. So he's a cheery bloke who likes engineering. So perhaps he's good with engines. Might be a good idea then to equip him with a company vehicle to drive around in if he's interested in that. So that's okay, that's cool. Next up, we have combat temperament. So we go back to the d6, and this is where we find out how he handles combat. How does he perform under fire? We rolled a 2, so he's even. He's pretty solid. He's not particularly bold, but he's not too cautious either. So that's actually good. So 2 to 4 is even. So no major modifiers there when it comes to that. Now we determine his combat leadership. So this is how good he is at leading his men when they're under fire. So what we're going to do is we're going to be adding +1 to the dice roll. Well, because we're doing this at a slightly higher level, that there says squad leader. We're going to change that to meaning platoon leader, and then the platoon leader will be the company leader. And then down here, where if you're determining the company commander, that would be the battalion commander. So we're going to do our company leader. So we're going to roll a d6. 5. So he's the level 3 character. So that's cool. That's good. And then we have the background of the character. So let's see what kind of background he's from. 6. Privileged. That makes sense. He's a company commander. Perhaps he didn't rise as far through the ranks as he could have done. Or perhaps he likes being sort of in the midst of the battle with his men. So he's from a privileged background. He gets a +1 when dealing with all ranks. So that sounds quite good actually. This guy sounds like he's quite a well-rounded character. He's liked by his men. He's interested in a bit of engineering. So that's good. I'm happy with that. Next up, we have the Company 2IC. So this is Captain Henry Irwin. So first up, we're going to do his personality. So rolling on the left, we have a 5, and then on the top, we have a 3. So 5, 3. He's generous. So another positive trait here. Next up, we have motivation and interest. So D20, 7. The arts, music, theatre, and literature are foremost in this individual's mind. Okay, interesting. So we have a generous arts fan. Perhaps he likes his music. Okay, interesting. Next up, combat temperaments. Let's find out how this guy handles a bit of pressure. 6. He's reckless. Okay, interesting. That could make for some interesting situations. Combat leadership. Now this time we're looking at it says here platoon sergeant, but we're still going to be rolling on this side of the table because he's our second in command of our entire company. Let's find out. 3. He's a level 2. Okay, that makes sense. So company commander is a level 3. He is a level 2. That makes sense. Okay, now we have background. What kind of background is this guy from? Military family. +1 when dealing with officers, +2 when dealing with officers of a major rank and above. Okay, interesting. Now we are going to be raising that to being 1 rank above because our company commander is a major. So we'll presume that means battalion commander. So he has a +1 when he's dealing with people such as his battalion commander. Okay. And then we have the 3 platoon leaders. So they're all lieutenants. So we'll start off with Lieutenant Lyle Farrell. And let's find out what he's going to be like. So rolling on the left first, 5, 3. So he's pessimistic. So perhaps not the best example of someone you want leading your platoon, but we'll go with it. That's what the table says. Next up, motivations and interests. Oh, he's hedonistic. Okay, he lives for today, seeking out all pleasures. This character wants to experience it all. Okay, so that's saying a bit about him. He's pessimistic. He's a pessimistic hedonist. Interesting. Next up, combat temperament. 2. Okay, so he keeps cool under pressure. That's good. And then now we're rolling on this side because we're looking at a platoon leader. Let's see what level leader he is. 4, level 2. Okay, that's good. That's the highest he can be as a platoon leader. So very good. And then we have our second platoon leader. So this is Lieutenant Clayton Dunn. Rolling on this side first. 1. Okay, well we know it's not going to be something good because there's no blues available here, but there's also no bad things either. So he's pragmatic. Okay. So we have a pragmatic guy who is interested in wealth. Interested in, motivated by, and respecter of wealth. He will seek it out by all means legal. Okay, that's not too bad. Sounds interesting. Then we have his combat temperament. Keeps cool under pressure. He's even. That's good. And what level of leader is he? Level 2. Okay, that's good. I realise for Lieutenant Lyle Farrell, I forgot to roll on his background, so we'll do that for the both of them now. So Platoon Commander 1, Lieutenant Farrell is an average type of man with no modifiers. And then second Platoon Commander, Lieutenant Dunn, is from a privileged background. Interesting. Okay. Perhaps the second platoon commander and company commander might be related in some way. Perhaps they knew each other before the war, perhaps. That's the kind of things I like about this. It's very simple and quick method of rolling these characters up. You can generate some interesting little stories about them. Okay, and finally, third platoon leader. This is Lieutenant Watkins. So, rolling on the left-hand side first. 1, 5. He's glum. Okay. So we have a glum guy who is gluttonous. Food, glorious food. A man who could smell food from 100 yards. Okay, so he likes food. Doesn't necessarily say anything here about the way he acts to get hold of it, but he's greedy. He likes his food. Perhaps he's a bit of a portly fellow. Okay, let's find out what kind of temperament the guy has under combat. 6. He's reckless. Okay. And what level is he going to be? He is a level 1. Okay, that's fine. And then the background. 3. Average. So he's an average man. He's reckless. He loves his food. Level 1 commander. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so that is how you set up the campaign, essentially, or rather how you set up the characters. So section 1 of this book is now complete. I will go away and fill out the roster of characters, and then I can start looking towards actually beginning the campaign. So the next step will be determining what kinds of actions we're going to do, generating a scenario, and then getting straight to it. So next up, in terms of what comes next in this kind of mini series that I'm doing, is I will be looking for some feedback from you guys about what kind of actions we want to take. I will reveal to you the exact military operation that we're going to be taking inspiration from, in terms of the kinds of scenarios we're going to be playing and the terrain we'll be fighting over. And then from then we will basically get cracking. We'll start playing the game. And then between games, I'm hoping to get some feedback, maybe do some polls where you guys can have some direct input into how the campaign goes. Perhaps making decisions for the opening moves of a battle, or where to try and hit the enemy, that sort of thing. So yeah, this has been a nice quick one. Hopefully it's been something that's been relatively interesting. I recommend you check out Platoon Forward. I'm not affiliated in any way with Two Fat Lardies, but I just think this is such a great system, and there's not many things out there like this that let you play any game, with a campaign system. So yeah, the company is all rolled up, ready to go. We've got our characters prepared, so it's almost time to start fighting. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.